Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your weekend is going fabulous. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be creating 10 cards using the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for May. This month's card kit is called Beach Day and it is fabulous. It's probably one of my favorites this year, only because there's a variety. There's masculine and feminine cards that you can make with this kit. And it kind of brings in summer too. So I'm taking this basket weave pattern paper that came with the 6x6 paper pad this month. It measures 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm matting that on the blue pattern paper that measures 2 inches by 4 inches. After we mat these two together, we're going to add a little bit of silver behind it. So just a little bit's peeking out, guys. I didn't want too much because I'm going to use the silver anchor. Now I die cut out all these elements during my unboxing, so if you missed the unboxing, I'll link it at the end of the video. But there's nothing really to put together with the dies this month, but the anchor and the chain are fabulous. And then there are some layering flowers along with some layering leaves. One of the tropical leaves is layering too. So that's what we did during the unboxing. Okay, I need a little dimension with my anchor, so I'm going to bring in some fun foam and we're going to die cut out a piece of fun foam to put behind our anchor. This anchor is fabulous. I love the size of it, and then there's also beautiful embossed and etched detail in here. And so you don't really need to do much, and I think this would make a fabulous masculine or nautical card also, not just for beaches. But once I have my fun foam adhered, I'm going to remove the release paper, and then we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our small panel, and we're going to put it a little bit off to the left so a little bit of the anchor is overhanging. As I was doing this, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be using some natural twine for some of my cards today, and I thought we would create like a little messy bunch of twine to go behind our anchor. I just think this goes really nice, especially when you add those pink flowers. I think it's going to look really pretty, and I think the natural twine is going to work perfect for it. If you guys are looking for great natural twine, this stuff from Spellbinders is fabulous. I'll list it below. But I'm just kind of crunching up the twine, wrapping it around the anchor, giving it a little bit of texture here, and then we'll tack that down to our panel. And again, the adhesive back fun foam is helping keep that twine stuck behind there. Now this is the little chain link that's great for the anchor, but it's also great for frame making. So we're going to be using this die that creates this quite often in our card today. I want to finish off the anchor with the chain on top, so I just made sure that one of those circles was underneath the circle in the anchor. I'm going to go ahead and remove the release paper off of my panel here and place this on our card base, which is one of the 10 cards that came with the kit this month. It comes with all the kits every month, actually. Love that about the Spellbinders kits. Now I went ahead and added just one flower and then 2 of the leaves and then the little flower bud piece. That's the only die cuts that we're using for this card. For my sentiment, I used one of the die cut pieces that says "Enjoy Today." It's that circle piece. And then, even though the kit came with some gems, I'm going to bring in some smaller ones. These are the Crystal Mix new gems from Spellbinders, and they're so pretty. But that finishes off my first card. Next card, I loved this die cut piece. Now this is part of the die cut pack, and you get 2 die cuts of each die cut this month. It's so nice. But this one has a lot of sentiments on here. It says relax, rejuvenate, breathe, refresh, enjoy, nourish, and renew. So I thought we would go for a really beachy kind of a look. I have this pattern paper that I trimmed down to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches tall. And then I took my essential rectangle dies and die cut out a small rectangle and put the dotted detail on the inside. That little white panel, if you don't have the essential rectangle die set, it measures 2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. Now I went ahead and used a couple of the die cut pieces. They're actually 2 of the same, and I put them in the corner area. They're the gold coppery colored leaves. I thought that would be pretty behind our sentiment. And then this little piece, it's so cute. It says "Take It Easy." I'm adhering that so it's overhanging on this panel, and it's going to be tucked just below, beneath our blue die cut piece, which I did pop up with foam adhesive, by the way. We're putting that in the center, and I did trim it down with my trimmer, guys, just so it would fit on the inside of that dotted detail. Okay, once this is adhered, I'm going to flip this panel over and add some foam adhesive behind here. And then this is going to go directly in the center of my pattern paper there. I just love the blues this month. I think it's so refreshing. Now there's the cute little seagull. There's two of them in the die cut pack, and I thought it'd go perfect for this card. It was the perfect size. So we're going to pop him up and put him on the very bottom right corner as soon as I get this little panel straight. And then we're going to grab our gems this month. The gems are really pretty. There's a variety of colors that coordinate with the cardstock and pattern papers. I'm taking the blue, and they have the little gold, the gold detail on there, which is really nice, like the little brushed gold detail. I'm going to add a few on the bottom left corner, and then the top, or bottom right corner, top left. And then that finishes off card number 2. Okay, we're going to move along to card number 3. For this card, we're going to make a birthday card. I'm going to go ahead and create a window. So I'm going to be using my Essential Square dies. I have a card front panel that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. It's just white cardstock. Now I'm taking the dotted detail and then a smaller square die to put on the inside. So this time my dotted detail is going to be on the outside of my frame. I ran that through my die cutting machine, so we have a nice little window. If you wanted to make this card into a shaker, you very well could. But I wanted to put some pattern paper behind my window. So this is the pale pinkish colored pattern paper. I'm going to tack that down directly to my card base. And then I'm going to bring in the stamp set. This is such a fun stamp set, and there is one little solid fish in here, and I thought we would stamp that with black ink. The nice thing about this fish is you can stamp it facing the left, or you can flip it upside down and have the fish facing the right. So that's what we're going to do with the next 2 fishes here. Just making sure I can put it in the window. Okay, now after we have this done, I'm going to flip over my panel, and we are going to pop that panel up with foam adhesive. And then we're also going to stamp our sentiment. Our sentiment, I chose It's Your Birthday. We're going to stamp that just below the window, a little bit towards the left. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the coral that we have in our die cut pack. Now I have foam adhesive behind my coral already, and I kind of played around with the placement a little bit. And I suggest maybe playing around with the placement before you put adhesive on there, because I actually took away some of the pattern paper. But no worries, we're going to cover that with our coral. Now I did add a few of the shells that are in our shell sticker sheet. It's not really a 3D sticker sheet, but it does have some real pretty glossy accent to it. So I added a couple shells, and then that was that card. Now for card number 4, since I didn't make a shaker with the last one, I thought we would make a shaker with this one. I was looking for this pattern paper, which is gorgeous. It just reminds me of a beach. So I'm going to adhere this directly to a panel that measures 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. Actually, it's slightly smaller. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. I've adhered it, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess, and then we're going to take some die cut pieces and create a little scene. Now, don't get shocked, guys, but I'm not going to use any foam adhesive with these pieces. So I adhered my umbrella, my bathing suit. Or for the flip-flops here, or the sandals, we're going to crisscross them here. And we're going to add those, placing them right next to the bathing suit. And then we have the beach ball. We're going to tack that down. And then last but not least, we have the hat. So we have a little bit of everything. We have the little lady's bathing suit, the man's hat, the man's shoes, little beach ball, could be anyone's. Everybody likes to play ball at the beach. So there's my little scene. Okay, now I'm going to take this panel and I want to cut out a window in it. Now I'm going to use my Essential rectangle dies. I'm just using these because these were on my desk, but I want about a 1-inch frame around the outside edge. So now we have a window. I'm going to line up the outside piece on my card base, and then I added adhesive behind that center piece. We tacked that down directly to our card base. Now we are going to go ahead and add our acetate behind this window. Got to trim it down a little bit. It was a little bit too big. I just used my tape runner, but if you want to use glue, you could. Now we're going to bring in the foam tape, of course. I'm going to pop this up. Now if you want your shaker card to really shake, you could use 2 layers of foam adhesive, but I'm just using 1 layer because I'm not going to add too many sequins. I'm actually getting rid of the largest sequins that are down. I'm using some clear ones because I wanted to be able to see through them. These are just sequins that I've had in my stash, but I'm not feeling it very full. I just wanted a little bit, and I wanted you to be able to see the scene behind it. So once I have my sequins added, I'm going to go ahead and remove my release paper, and then this is going to go directly on my card front. And when you do this, you want to make sure it's lined up before you commit to putting it down, just so those images are like a puzzle and they're put back in their place. But I thought that was super neat. So you have a little scene on the outside and a little scene on the inside with the sequins, and the sequins kind of remind me of bubbles. For my sentiment, I'm using one of the die cut pieces. This says "Together is a beautiful place." I am going to pop it up with a little bit of foam adhesive, and then we're going to place this in the middle of the umbrella. I think that's a great place, kind of offsetting a bit. And then I have a little bit of sequins left over, and I'm going to place them around the outside edge of my frame. So we have some sparkle on the inside and a little sparkle on the outside. Kind of really like this card. It could be for anyone actually. So that's card number 4. Super fun. And again, if you wanted to shake, you can add more sequins, but I just wanted a little bit. Now for card number 5, we're going to make a pretty easy card. I have this piece of pattern paper. We're going to adhere this down the middle of our card base. We're going to make a landscape card today for this. This is like the tan stripe paper, and it measures 3 3/4 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. Next, we're going to take this blue, really pretty, like mosaic tile kind of beachy tile kind of paper. Love this pattern paper. I'm adhering that over the center. That measures 2 inches wide by 5.5 inches long. And you can see I did leave a little bit of room on the bottom of that pattern paper. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 3 of my glossy seashells. They already have foam adhesive, so I don't have to add any dimension to these. We just put them all in a row. And I thought we'd bring in a little silver, so I trimmed down a 5.5 inch strip of the silver cardstock that came in our kit this month. It's about 1/8 of an inch wide. I'm just using some glue to secure it underneath that blue tile pattern paper. And then I'm taking that natural twine once again, and we're wrapping it around a couple times, tying a bow off to the right. I love that tan color with the blues. I just think it's really pretty. For my sentiment, we're going to stamp the sentiment that's in the stamp set. This says "Have a wonderful day." It's a tight print, and I think it works perfectly here. It's meant to go with the relax, but it doesn't have to. After we have that done, last but not least, I'm taking one of the white starfish in that same shell sticker sheet, and then that finishes off card number 5. Now for my next card, I'm bringing in some gold mirror cardstock. Now, this came from a previous card kit, like last month's card kit. I had some extra, and I die cut out my my anchor and then also my chain here. This cardstock now, guys, Spellbinders has it available in a 10-pack at the shop. I'll list it down below, but it's phenomenal. It's double-sided and it die cuts beautifully. Okay, I went ahead and adhered a piece of this pattern paper. We're going to make another landscape style card. This is 5 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and add my chain to my anchor. I didn't pop this up this time. And then I thought we would take the little lifesaver that was in the die cut pack and take that natural twine and weave it in and out of that lifesaver, giving this a little bit of a 3D dimensional look. But I did it really loosely, guys. When you do this, you don't want to do it tight. You want to actually make it really loose. So easy to do. just kind of do a little looping around. I thought it'd be fun to have my little lifesaver hanging off of my anchor. This little scene is like a black and white photograph. Loved it, so I thought we'd put this on our panel that I die cut out with my essential rectangle dies. I did end up trimming this panel down a little bit smaller than my the essential rectangle die, just so a little bit of the dotted detail was showing, and I have more room where I could see that pattern paper on my card base. But I add my anchor and my lifesaver, and I did use the boat that was in the die cut pack. I added that to the bottom of the scene, almost like it was on the lake. This makes a fabulous anytime masculine card. So you can use this as a birthday, as a just because card, a thank you card. I left it blank, so I thought that was really nice. I did trim off the chain on top there, but that finishes card number 6. Pretty easy card, but I love the way this turned out. Okay, for my next card, I've been loving this chain, so I thought we would use it for this card. Again, I'm using this real pretty blue tiled pattern paper. It measures 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And we are going to go ahead and take that white piece of cardstock. I did end up trimming it down, so it measures 4 1/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches. Next, I'm taking that chain. I cut 5 of them out with white cardstock. For the length of this panel, I need to extend my chain, so I'm overlapping those circles on the end. And then when they overhang off the edge, I'm going to go ahead and trim those off. And I found that this measurement, 4 1/4 by 2 1/2, fit it perfectly to where all those circles end up being on the very corners. So once I have my panel framed in with that fun chain, it's so pretty, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. This one we're using the stamp set, and the stamp set that says relax, and there's a lot of secondary sentiments. For this card I chose You've Earned It. So we just stamped it with black ink off to the right, and then we're going to flip this panel over and add foam adhesive behind it. This is going to go again landscape style in the center of our panel. I went ahead and used a few of the floral and tropical leaves that were in the die cut pack, and then arranged them on the bottom left corner here. And then last but not least, I'm going to use some of those blue gems to embellish our card. And then that finishes card number 7. For card number 8, we have some pattern paper here. This is like a tan taupey color. It measures 3 inches wide. We're going to put it all the way to the top of our card base, and it measures 5 inches tall. So we're going to have a little over 1/2 inch showing, or a little less than 1/2 inch showing on the left, right, and bottom. Now we have this real pretty striped pattern paper that has that taupe stripe to it. I'm going to pop this up. So our pattern paper is not that thick, so I'm going to mat this on some white cardstock. This way I can pop it up with foam adhesive, and I can actually add some twine around it too without it buckling in. So I brought back that natural twine, wrapped it around 3 times, tied a bow off to the left, and that measures 3 inches. Actually, that does not measure. That measures 2 1/2 inches wide, guys, by 4 1/4 inches tall. Okay, we pop that up. We're going to place this all the way to the top of our card base, and then we're going to go ahead and add some embellishments. We have some of the greenery from the die cut pack, and then I have this shell from the die cut pack. I also have the sunglasses from the die cut pack, and then 2 of the shells from the sticker sheet. We are going to go ahead, we don't need to add foam adhesive again because these already have a glue dot behind them, or foam square behind them. We're kind of arranging them in a little cluster, and then we're going to add our glasses on the inside of the twine, kind of hanging over. For my sentiment, I'm going to use some of the chipboard stickers, the ones that say seashore, seashells, and sunshine. Say that last 3 times. But that finishes card number 8. For my next card, it's probably one of my favorite cards here. I'm taking these are not the essential circles, these are actually the hem stitch circles. So the circles are more like squares, but I'm going to create a window with dotted detail on the inside. And then I also created a circle with the largest one so we can mat it behind it. I have a panel of this cute little Seagull pattern paper. We are going to adhere this directly to our card base. It measures 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. So we have a little bit of a white border around our card base. Next, we're going to bring back that natural color twine, and with this circle frame, I'm going to do this, turn it into like a lifesaver kind of a thing, a floaty. I'm going to take some of that twine and very, very loosely wrap it in and out, going around the circle, just giving it a nautical kind of a theme. And then when I do come to the end of that, we tuck it on the back. I added my tape runner behind there so we can stick it down, which we're going to stick down on our circle backing here. I think that looks so fun. I'm going to pop up my circle, and I did overhang it just a little bit when you do this. Make sure there's no twine in the way. And if you do have a piece of twine in the way and you trim it off like I did, it's kind of an easy fix. You just tuck it underneath that circle, and then we are good to go. Next, we have a few of the die cut pieces here. I have this little, it's not really greenery, but it's a tropical leaf that is in that coppery gold color. And then I also have my second cute little seagull. We're going to have that seagull sitting on one of the chipboard pieces. It's a sentiment that says, "This is my favorite day." It was from the chipboard pack, guys. I added that so my seagull can stand on it. And then I thought we needed just something else. So I brought in the 3 white starfish from our sticker sheet here. There's 3 left, and I thought we'd use that for this card. But I love the way this turned out. Pretty simple, but I think it's really fun with that seagull. For my final card today, I'm taking a 1-inch strip of my blue pattern paper here. We're adhering it all the way to the left of my card base, and then we're going to use this tropical floral pretty print. It measures, by the time I cut it, it will measure 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. We're going to cover the entire card front with pattern paper for this card. So we're just lining it up, and then I do have excess overhanging. So the measurements that I gave you was the measurements after I trimmed it. So it's, again, it's 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. We're going to use some more of that trim, the chain link trim. I die cut it out twice with white cardstock. We're going to add it over the seam, and then I'm adding it over the seam on the floral pattern paper. We just loop the circles on the end and just continue it down, and whatever's overhanging I'm going to trim off with my scissors. And then we're going to use a few of the die cut pieces for this card too. There is this one blue piece that says holiday on it. I didn't want the holiday, so we're going to end up covering that up. And then there's a ticket, a pink ticket. I wanted to use that. We're going to use this tropical leaf to cover up that holiday sentiment, and then we have one more of the hibiscus flowers here we're going to use. We're going to tack the ticket to the blue piece, and then tuck in our tropical leaf here, and then flip it over and add foam adhesive behind it all at one shot. That's what I like to do with these. And then I did add my hibiscus flower and then 2 of the gold starfish. And then for my sentiment, I wanted to use this Enjoy chipboard sticker, and I'm putting it right at the same angle as the that blue piece that we added. But that will be my sentiment for this card. So that finishes my collage card, card number 10. So we're going to take a look at all the 10 cards today made with the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month called Beach Day. It's the May 2021 card kit. Fabulous kit. Just love Spellbinders kits because you get everything in there. And you're going to love that anchor and chain, guys. And then there's florals in there too that are really pretty, that are layered. Again, if you wanted to see how I made the layered florals during the unboxing, I'll list it at the end here. You just click on that. But such a fun kit. I think this is probably one of my favorite masculine cards. But I love this theme. Tropical, beachy, light and airy and summery. But I hope you enjoyed my projects. If you guys want to see still shots, I list the coordinating blog post down below, so you can head on over there and see them individually. Sometimes it's nice to see them still. But I thank you so much for joining me, guys. Have a lovely day. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.